Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'll be showing you my camera setup. I have not completely fixed it yet. I still have some small issues with it. I'm working on it. Hopefully next video will be on my new camera gear. So my new camera setup that you've seen in the previous video, you've seen all the gear connected and everything working, and that's great. However, that camera setup is working awesome. The problem is it still has a power issue. Now in a second I'll show you what I mean exactly. So up until now I've used this Galaxy Note 3 as my camera. However, this is not a good camera. The video I got out of it was in okay quality. The sound was terrible. I tried to use external mics on it. It didn't work with external mics and it had a lot of issues. This is my new camera setup. Now, this is a much better setup. As you see, there's a tripod. There's a light right there, a mic right there, a Canon T2I camera, a battery bank, and right there that's a stand for this cell phone. Now this cell phone is going to serve me as a field monitor, just like you've seen in the previous video. However, this device has an issue. This thing is a power guzzler. It likes power. And it turns out that it uses approximately 2 to 2.5 amps per hour. For a device like this, this is a lot of energy. And if you plug into it a charger that gives it 2 amps, it just barely holds it together. While you're filming, it's not going to hold it. And up until now, I've used this battery bank right here, which is a traditional 10 amp, let's see if it can pick it up, traditional 10 amp power brick, basically. So this little battery bank couldn't hold the cell phone while it was filming. And of course, it cannot hold the cell phone and the camera and the light and everything else it needs to hold. So I am having a little bit of a power issue with this cell phone. Now additionally to that, in order for this device to act as a field monitor, I need to plug it up to an OTG cable, and once you plug those OTG cables in, they would send power from this device to whatever other device is plugged into it. That created some more problems with power consumption, unfortunately. So whenever this device was plugged in as a field monitor, it wouldn't last more than 20 minutes connected to the camera. And of course, when I plugged in the camera to this device, well, this device got pretty much depleted in an hour. So all that setup did not work, unfortunately. Fortunately, I am smart enough to build my own battery bank. So that's exactly what I did, and let me show you what I did. This is my new battery bank that I'm going to be using for this project. And this battery bank is actually built out of 2 traditional battery banks with 3 batteries in there. So let's review. I got a 4 amp, and then I got an 8 amp, and then I got another 4 amp. So in essence, I got 16 amp hours of power in this little battery bank. And I got 4 USB ports, which are built out of basically those 2 chargers for those battery banks. Each one of these, each one of these battery banks can charge a device with 2 amps. So in essence, these 4 ports should provide me with a total of 4 amps. 2 amps are going to go for my field monitor, which is going to sit right there, and then 2 additional amps are going to be split between the camera and the light. And the microphone doesn't need any power because it runs on its own battery. So I'm definitely don't care about the mic. The mic is going to be just fine, and it's going to be plugged into the camera and provide good audio. Now, what have I done to actually solve the problem? And I bet you've seen a glimpse of my solution here a minute ago. So what I've done is I actually soldered in straight into the battery terminals. And the solution was not to go through the charge port of the device, but actually provide power to the device directly from the battery terminals. The idea behind it is pretty simple. You plug the battery straight to the battery, right there. That connector has 4 pins on it. It carries all the 4 channels that this device needs to talk to its battery. It will carry power, and the power, of course, is paralleled to the rest of the batteries, and it will carry the sensor for the battery level on that communication line. So I did test this, and this device was able to run for 27 hours straight on this battery bank with no charge. And currently it's at 67%, and I've not charged it. Okay, so this is how we are dealing with this problem. I've decided to use Molex connectors to carry the power we need between the battery bank and the device. Now, realistically, USB can carry this power. The thing is, I don't have USB plugs that have thick enough wiring, and realistically the problem we're having isn't the thickness of the wire per se carrying amperage. It's more about the thickness of the wire and its own resistance. You see, thicker wire would have less resistance on it because there's just more metal to carry more electrons from point A to point B. So I am taking these plugs, soldering them on this, and creating adapters. So those adapters can actually, one end plug into this device, the other end plug into the actual connector right there, and that should be able to carry all the power required with a lower resistance to its destination and not be a problem. Okay, so now I've stripped the wiring and it's time to start soldering all the parts together, and let's get to that. Alright, there we have it, an adapter that is completely 100% removable from this cell phone in case I need to remove it for any kind of reason. And the plug is upside down. And if there is a problem, I can always solder the other leads. I don't think I'll have to, but in a second we'll test it and see if it works. It's now connected and it should be able to boot up. So I guess I have a functional field monitor for this rig, and it appears that the Wi-Fi is working fine as well, so I don't need any additional connections done. This is good to go. And I think I'm gonna just leave it at that and cut the other wires off and be done. Oh my god, this is freaking awesome. So I am controlling the camera from my cell phone with my new rig. And so far it seems to be working well enough, so I'm happy that this video is going to end the way it ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the first sample video that I'm gonna post with my new camera rig. Since everything is working and running right, I'm gonna be adding this to the video. And if you like the video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much for watching and have a beautiful day, guys. See you next time.